President Trump's sweeping global tariffs for more than 90 countries have come into effect.
60%. That's the tariff Trump just slapped on every single product coming from China. Your iPhone? 60% more. Your kids' toys? 60%. The parts in your car? You guessed it. But here's what most people don't realize. China isn't paying this tariff. You are. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how tariff economics work, why experts predict you'll pay $4,000 more this year, and the 3-step framework to protect your business or portfolio before these prices hit. Before we break down the numbers, you need to understand what's actually happening right now. In January 2025, Trump announced the most aggressive tariff package in nearly a century. We're talking 60% on all Chinese goods, 25% on everything from Mexico and Canada, and threats of 10 to 20% on European imports. The total value of imports affected? Over $3 trillion. Now, this isn't completely new territory. Back in 2018, Trump launched his first trade war with China. Tariffs went up. Farmers lost their export markets. The government had to bail them out with $28 billion. So why does this matter to you specifically? Because whether you're running a business, investing in stocks, or just buying groceries, you're about to get a masterclass in how tariffs actually work. And spoiler alert, it's not how most politicians describe it. To understand why these tariffs are such a big deal, you have to understand how we got here. For the past 40 years, American companies built the most efficient supply chains in history. Apple figured out how to manufacture iPhones in China for a fraction of what it would cost in the US. Walmart learned to source products from 20 different countries to give you the lowest prices. And it worked. Consumer prices stayed low, selection exploded, your dollar went further than ever before. Today, 90% of iPhones are made in China. Walmart imports 60 to 70% of its products from there. Ford and GM rely on Mexican plants for critical components. American farmers export billions in soybeans and corn to Chinese markets. This interconnected system created unprecedented prosperity. Companies got efficient, consumers got cheap goods, everyone won. Or at least, that's how it seemed. Because this system had a hidden vulnerability, and these new tariffs are about to expose it. Alright, let's break down how tariffs actually work. Because once you understand this, you'll never listen to a politician talk about trade the same way again. What is a tariff? Think of it like a toll booth at the border. When a product enters the US from another country, the importer, that's usually an American company, has to pay a fee. That fee is the tariff. Here's the crucial part that most people get wrong. China doesn't pay this tariff. The Chinese factory ships the product. The American company receives it and pays US customs. China never touches the bill. Let me show you the math. Say a product costs $100 when it leaves China. With a 60% tariff, the American company pays $60 to customs. That product now costs them $160. Now the company has two choices. Choice 1, absorb the cost, which destroys their profit margin. Choice 2, pass it to you, the consumer. Guess which one most companies pick? This is called pass-through cost. Studies from the 2018 tariffs showed that American companies passed through nearly 100% of tariff costs to consumers. The Peterson Institute calculated that these tariffs cost the average household $1,200 per year. With the 2025 tariffs being 2 to 3 times larger, economists estimate households could pay $4,000 or more annually. Now, let's look at the dominoes already starting to fall. 90% of iPhones are made in China. Analysts estimate a 60% tariff could add $300 to $400 to the price of an iPhone. Tim Cook spent years building Chinese manufacturing relationships. Now the company faces an impossible choice: raise prices or crater margins. 60 to 70% of products sourced from China. Their entire business model is built on low prices. When your costs jump by billions, where does that money come from? Either shareholders eat it or your prices go up. Ford, GM, Tesla all have critical supply chains running through Mexico. A 25% tariff doesn't just affect the final car, it hits every component along the way. Some vehicles have thousands of parts crossing the border multiple times during assembly. But here's what makes this truly dangerous: retaliation. China has already announced counter tariffs targeting American agriculture, soybeans, corn, pork. In 2018, American farmers lost their Chinese export market overnight. The government had to step in with $28 billion in emergency bailouts. This happened before. In 1930, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act raised tariffs by 40 to 50%. Countries retaliated. Global trade collapsed by 66%. It didn't cause the Great Depression, but it made it dramatically worse. Mexico and Canada are already preparing their response. Steel tariffs, auto tariffs, agricultural restrictions. When you add it all up, we're looking at a potential economic shock not seen in generations. So what does this actually mean for real people? Let's do the math on a typical household. Electronics, clothes, furniture, toys, cars, food, all categories hit by these tariffs. The Yale Budget Lab estimates consumer prices could rise 5 to 10% across the board. For a family earning $75,000 a year, that's roughly $4,000 in extra costs. And it's not just prices. Small businesses that can't absorb costs will close. Companies will lay off workers to protect margins. Some products may simply become unavailable as supply chains reconfigure. The irony? The policy is designed to bring manufacturing back to America, but factories take years to build. Workers need training. Infrastructure requires investment. The tariffs hit now. The benefits, if they come at all, are years away. This is the gap that will hurt the most. So, what can you actually do about this? Here's a 3-step framework I call the Tariff Impact Audit. Whether you're running a business, managing investments, or just planning your household budget, this will help you get ahead of what's coming. Step 1. Audit your exposure. For businesses, list every product or component you import. Identify country of origin. Calculate what percentage of your costs come from tariffed countries. For investors, check your portfolio company's supply chain exposure in their 10K filings section on risk factors. Step 2. Calculate the margin impact. Use this formula: product cost times tariff percentage equals additional cost. Divide by your selling price to see the margin hit. If a $50 product faces a 60% tariff, that's $30 in extra costs. If you sell for $80, that's 37.5% of your margin gone. Step 3. Choose your mitigation strategy. You have 5 options. Option A. Stock up before tariffs fully hit. Option B. Find alternative suppliers in Vietnam, India, or Brazil. Option C. Pass costs to customers with clear communication. Option D. Absorb costs temporarily to protect market share. Option E. Renegotiate with existing suppliers who may share the burden. Run this audit today. The companies and investors who prepared during the 2018 tariffs weathered the storm. Those who didn't scrambled and suffered. That's tariff economics in plain English. The toll booth is open and American consumers and businesses are paying the toll. Now you understand who really pays, how to calculate the impact, and what to do about it. That puts you ahead of 99% of people arguing about tariffs online. Leave your opinion about those tariffs in the comments. See you then.